So Vito, here we are, Central Milton Keynes. It's been a long time coming, and right behind you, over your shoulder right there, is what is going to be a spanking refurbished ice rink. You've been in there today. You're pretty excited about this, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. I think for many of us that have been involved for a long while, it's been a long time coming. It's been a lot of work. I remember we first started the march many years ago onto the council town hall, and the junior parents, juniors, some of those youngsters are actually playing now, ironically. But yeah, but it's been a long time coming. It's very, very exciting times. It really is.
Yeah, I could see when we did the fans forum last week, you see it all written all over your face. You've got a huge grin. It's like all your Christmases have come early, and just seeing you walk up with John Neville and the guys from Planet Ice just then, it's just written all over your face. You just can't wait to get in there.
No, absolutely. I mean, if you take what Planet Ice have done, and also what Abbeygate have done in terms of putting the whole development on, some of the things that we weren't sure about, what was going to happen, what was not going to happen, starting to see those sort of problems be resolved, and I think resolved very well as well. I think it's going to be a fantastic facility. We always liked the pad. It was always a Olympic-sized rink, and in terms of playing on there, it was always great to play on. But it was just the outside. You kind of felt that you were apologising a little bit because it looked a bit tired and it needed to freshen up. But what the guys are giving us, I think, is absolutely superb. Really, really looking forward to it.
And bear in mind, I just actually put a video online this morning that the last competitive game was the Slough versus Lightning game in that rink on the 31st of March 2013. And I've just been right the way around the building, had a look around Morrison's and everything else. And, there's a lot of work going on this site. They really do want this to be ready, don't they?
Yeah, big time. I think the official handover to Planet Ice is just towards the end of August, and then most of the internal refit. Planet Ice have got to do a lot of things there. I know that they've frozen the pad once already to see how that works, because obviously they've made some slight changes. The size is the same, but once it gets handed over, then really Planet Ice have to do the, if you like, the rink refurb, the rink refit. And we hope that will be done, and at the moment we're really confident that 17th of October, 18th of October I think it is our first official game back here. Looks like certainly the first game that we'll have, so looking forward to that.
Now, we mentioned already that you've been in there and you've had a good look around, and you've already said that it's totally different. I've spoken to a couple of people that have seen it the inside as well, and said they couldn't actually get their bearings having seen photos of the inside, and the photos aren't yet for general consumption. But we're talking, what sort of things are we talking about? What's going to be changed? Obviously the old beams are going to be there, because at the end of the day they hold the roof up. There's nothing we can do about that. But when somebody walks into that building, the first thing they're going to notice is they're walking in from the opposite end. That's for a start. What sort of things are going to impact them straight away, do you think?
Well, I think visually, if you look at it, the first thing that you'll realise that's very, very different is the blue dehumidifiers that ran along the middle of the rink. They've gone. I think they've spent £50,000 just painting the ceiling and refurbing the top. The entrance is probably the first thing that hits you. Before it was the long dark tunnel that you walked through to get into the into quite a small, or if you like, compact area. The entrance now is from a different side. It's very wide, it's very spacious. You walk into the entrance, you walk into the rink from completely the other end. If you go upstairs to the bar area is going to be lovely. It's big, it's expansive, it's got glass right across the front of it, and it just feels very, very different. But it'd be the sort of area that you'd be happy to take family, businesses, somewhere you want to go and entertain somebody. So certainly looks very, very good. Just to the left of the of the top bar area, you've got a fantastic disabled area, and there are in fact two disabled areas for people. So for both people that sit there that are either in wheelchairs or what have you, that are across the top, but also their helpers are with them as well. And there's a nice curved area at the top. And there's also an area downstairs that'll be a raised platform also for people that want to stay by the side of the rink. So that looks very, very different. I keep losing my bearings because I go in there, and bear in mind that the team sat beneath what was F block in the old days. Looking at where we are now, we're at the other end. Effectively, we're at the entrance hall. So where the entrance to the rink was, we're about there. And so we've got some new facilities, new changing room. They're going to be all kitted out freshly for the team. Also, the toilet facilities is the biggest thing that struck me, and just the range of toilets is in the whole place. The toilets, the toileting. If you look at the way that you've got various bars in different areas. It just feels very, very different. And probably the biggest visuals internally will be, first things first, 4-sided scoreboard. That does certainly make the place look and feel different. You've got the area above where the DJ box used to be. That's gone. And there are a couple of options what to do there, and I don't want to jump the gun, but I think both ideas are very, very good, and I think Planet Ice are going to decide which way they go forward on that one. So that looks very, very different, and probably the final biggest visual difference is that the seating will all be gone, and it will be new seating inside, and that to the eye will just be a different colour, and it'll just be very, very different to what there is today. So yeah, big reasons to be excited.
It's going to be absolutely fantastic, and we're looking at. You can't cast these dates in stone because at the end of the day it is a construction site, as you can see behind us, but we're looking at what, the 18th of October, Saturday the 18th of October, which is penciled in, and they are working very, very hard to get that date, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean they are. To be fair, before we committed ourselves on things like season ticketing and also ticketing, also launch dates, we've been in talking to Planet Ice, and to be fair, they've been guiding us really, really well. But we decided that the first 2 weeks it was sensible to play away, and then from there on in it could be one of the next 3 weeks, but likely the long stop date from our perspective is likely to be the 18th of October. So what we've done with regards to season tickets, and I think this year's season tickets are the best prices we will ever do, because one, we've frozen prices at what was effectively the last season we left from here, and and that's Planet Ice's drive there to do that. Secondly, we've made the season tickets very attractive, so you're getting 6 free tickets for effectively 27 games, and that in itself I think is a really, really good offer. So those things combined I think means that from our perspective we're pretty comfortable that we'll get in on the 18th. I think it's the 18th, the Saturday the 18th of October. Now with building sites you never know, there could be some problems, but at the moment I have to say that Planet Ice have been in for a while and they've been doing some stuff, so they've been ahead of schedule a little bit. They have met with a few issues and they will continue to meet with slight problems, but everything that seems to be thrown at us, either through Abigate or through Planet Ice, the guys seem to be taken care of. And so from my perspective, I was expecting a 6-month delay. If I'm really honest about it, I thought we may play January the 1st, we'll be lucky to get in. But the way things have gone, it's been fantastic. There's been a lot of hard work done, and so yeah, lots of reasons to be happy.
It's difficult talking to you because I can see you just want to break out to this big toothy grin. You're so excited to get in there, but that's pretty much all we want to talk about in the ring. We're going to come on to the league in a second. We'll talk about the team as well in a second, but I mean obviously we're going to be playing a few games at Planet Ice up in Coventry, and one thing we do have to mention, I know you mentioned them a lot, Abigate the developers and also Planet Ice. Planet Ice have really looked after Lightning over the last 18 months, ever since we closed for the refurb and everything else and ongoing everything else. They provide us ice up in Coventry. They've helped us out with ice up in Coventry until this rink actually opens, and you really can't speak highly enough of both Planet Ice and Abigate developers. They've really come up trumps, haven't they?
Yeah, I think Abigate have been fantastic because it's been without their input, we wouldn't have the rink here. Interesting you say that Planet Ice have been helping us out for the last 18 months, 2 years. The way that I see it, and I think if you talk to myself, Harry, Nick, Planet Ice have been helping us out since day one. And we've had a fantastic rapport with Planet Ice. I don't think there's been a situation, and I don't know of another situation where rink and ice users have had so much sort of we've had no issues. Most things that we've dealt with, they've supported us, they've provided guidance, they've provided financial help, and people don't realise the input that Planet Ice have had to the Lightning. And we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for Planet Ice, make no bones about it. But with that, we've ended up with what we believe is a shiny new facility. I think the one challenge that me and Harry have is that we always said that we'd call it a day once the rink got opened, and I don't think we want to go now because it looks nice, it looks shiny, we might have to just stick around for a bit longer. But it was always something that we would love to have seen. It was something that we hoped for, and so if we do praise Abigate and if we do praise Planet Ice, I don't think any praise is sufficient, to be honest. They've particularly Planet Ice for us have been superb.
Abigail Council definitely came on board. I mean, I can remember when we organised the march back in, I think it was April 2004 actually, so it's just over 10 years ago now, and we also want to do that on the morning of the Saturday the 18th of October, the morning of the first home game in our new home against Sheffield, if you like. We want to get everybody involved and get everybody marching from the rink up the town and maybe back down again, and obviously there'll be details about that on the Lightning website, won't it? But it'd be great to get all the ice users back together again, sort of 10.5 years later, to celebrate the opening of this fantastic venue.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of things have happened during the course of the summer, and I think having a clean piece of paper and looking at how the ice operates, what seemed really the sensible thing to do was to launch an academy. We've launched the academy. It embraces all the clubs, excluding Lightning, in terms of how we operate as a town. So we offer now ice hockey right through from youngsters, ladies, and it all comes under the umbrella of the academy, and I can't think of a better person to head that academy than Nick Paul, and so from that perspective it's fairly seamless, so that was a good thing. The march just seemed a great opportunity. We started by marching to the council. It was funny actually, Dave Fairhurst said, why don't we march from MK Ice, and that was an idea as well, but we're not sure. We're going to march from somewhere back to the rink, and on Saturday the 18th of October, I think we're all meeting at 11 o'clock at a venue to be confirmed, but the idea is that all the clubs linked in Milton Keynes, be they recreational hockey, ladies hockey, men's hockey, junior hockey, senior hockey, but everybody together dons a shirt and walks through the town and really shouts loud, what a fantastic facility we've got, and I keep saying it on all my tweets and things, we're back, hockey's coming back home, and that's the way that it should be.
Absolutely. So that's the new season coming up, and it just starts in just a few weeks' time. In fact, on the 6th of September, the first friendly games, of course. But different shape to the league this season. Unfortunately, we lost Slough during the close season for various reasons. They've been well documented. But one thing we do have now is the new version of the EPL Cup, if you like, with some of the NIHL teams coming in there as well. So that's actually going to be a few new venues for Lightning fans to go to this season. And although we're going to be playing that on NIHL import rules, i.e. 2 imports on the ice at any one time, it's still going to be quite a decent competition, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and I think one of the things about it is that if you look at the whole way that cup's designed, it's designed to make it a far more even playing field. And so what we're trying to do is make sure that we don't want the EPL is a slightly stronger league. Fact, we run with 4 overseas players, they only run with 2, and so why play a competition that has no competition in it? And so what we wanted to try and do is give the Northern Ice Hockey League teams a chance, the National Ice Hockey League teams, I say Northern, but give them a chance to really compete. And we've split it into Southern and Northern, so that the Northern teams don't have too far to travel and the Southern teams don't have too far to travel. And from our fans' perspective, we go to the Isle of Wight, which is great. We still love going to the Isle of Wight. We've got a slight reason to go to Chelmsford, and even more. Gary Clark left, but they brought Lucas in, and so a lot of our fans will go up to Chelmsford, which will be nice. We also get the chance to go to Invicta, but I think conversely, they get the chance to come and play against EPL teams, and make no bones about it, they've got some very good players in those leagues as well. And that league should be about feeding through to the higher leagues. That's certainly my view, and I think it gives us a chance also to play some of our youngsters as well that we've got on the edge of Thunder, on the edge of Lightning. And so I think it's just a great opportunity to play a tournament that involves both leagues. I'd love to see one of the National Hockey League teams actually qualify at the price of one of the EPL. That'd be great.
I think there's going to be a few upsets. They're going to be no mugs, that's for certain. It's going to be a tight competition.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you go and play in the Isle of Wight, and it's a tough little rink to play in. You have to change your game style. I remember when we used to train to play against the Isle of Wight, we would cut our rink in half, and we would play only half size rink, just to try and get used to the lack of time that you have on the puck. But certainly playing it on a far more even keel, and I think makes it far more exciting for the fan, and I think helps the lower league as well, and just makes it, make no bones about it, it helps us to fill a void that Slough left, and it's a real shame that we've lost Slough, but equally, what a great opportunity to do something a bit different.
Good stuff. Now, before we let you go, be remiss of me to let you go without just mentioning the look of the squad this season. It's got every single season Nick puts together what looks like a really good squad. I think he's done it again, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean we've made 3 pretty key changes. At the end of an era, seeing Lucas go, but we felt the time was right. He's been a fantastic servant to us, but he's brought in a D-man that has played at a very high level. Seems a good player. In terms of the forward, Milan seems to have certainly excited us. We've had a few calls saying that you've got yourself a good player there, and so we're certainly excited about him. And Lewis Hook, what a cracking little player to get. We're delighted to get Lewis on board. Really, really good for us. We hope we can use the young man in a way that helps him to develop and to grow. And Nick's a good coach for that. Nick's very, very good at getting the best out of his players. And I think people like Jordan County would vouch for that. You play with Nick, and he don't give you an easy time. He gives you a hard time. But he's certainly one of those coaches that can get the best out of you. And then the rest of the squad wasn't too shabby, and I could mention every single one of those guys on the team. We signed them for a reason. We re-signed them because we like them, we value them, and we rate them. And I think from that perspective, you've got the core of a great bunch of guys, and then you add in 3 players that we think make us stronger. So we're excited. The league's tough, no question about it. There's been some fantastic signings elsewhere as well, so it's going to be a competitive league. But from our perspective, all we can do is work within the parameters of what we have and make sure that our guys, go out and compete every single week. And I think Nick's got quite a nice smile in him about that as well.
Yeah, I keep hearing reports. I haven't seen Nick for quite a while. I'm going to get hold of him before the season for an interview. But everybody I speak to says this is probably as excited as they've seen Nick Paul pre-season for quite some time.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Nick's quite a cautious character, but he's given he sent the players their handbooks already, so they know the objectives of the team. We've got Meet the Players Night booked up for the 1st, and I think that's when he launches the team or shows the team to the fans. We're not sure about the venue there. We might have a slightly new venue there. We've got very advanced talks with a new sponsor that we're hoping to secure. Hopefully we get it done by then. If we don't, it'll be later on. Won't be a problem, but we might have a new venue for that, because we seem to be just a little bit squashed in the old venue, so we're desperately trying to find somewhere else. But going back to the squad, great team, and as far as Nick's concerned, he's it's a tough league, no question about it, but all you can do is make sure that you've got a team there that's going to go out and not give away 2 points every week.
That's brilliant. Well, Vito, many thanks for taking the time to talk to us this afternoon. I know you've been very, very busy. You've got loads and loads of stuff on before the season starts, but thanks for especially staying out. I think we've just about escaped the rain, so we'll let you get off before we get absolutely soaking wet, but thanks again.
No, it's an absolute pleasure. Thank you.